Alright guys, what's going on today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm talking about the new Boruto episode 205. Now, this episode follows manga chapter 39. And there's a lot of stuff that's been changed and a lot of stuff that's been revised. So let's get down to it. So beginning and everything is the same as chapter 59. There's not much difference there. We're going to talk more about Kara, Oro, Kashikoji, and all of them first before we get on to the Boruto, Sarada, and them. So let's get to it. So they added and removed Kashikoji's scene. Now, in the anime, Oro arrives and he starts to question Kashikoji since he found the frog in the airship. The thing is that Boro didn't report the frog to Jigen yet. So that part in the manga, when we thought that Jigen already knows that Koji is the traitor, seems that Boro didn't meet him yet. Because this basically tells us that that scene was added for no reason. The Boro stuff was added for completely no reason then. Where Boro goes to the ship and he finds Toad. Unless they show it in the next couple of episodes, we'll see where that's going. But in this, Boro arrives, he questions Kashikoji and Kashikoji pays him off. Kashikoji starts twisting his words, saying Jigen already trusts him, all this stuff. He's like, he was just here. And that's how you know Boro wasn't keeping up with Jigen. When Koji says that Jigen arrived in the village, Boro was surprised. He doesn't know that he was in the village. And the funny part here is Boro's followers, they've already infiltrated the village. That's how his followers will see Kashikoji. That's kind of weird though when you think about it. That means Kara has deep ties all over. Anyways, Boro then gets summoned and he goes to protect Naruto's seal. And it's either Code or somebody who tells him to, watch over Naruto. Now in the manga, Koji says that he's going after Jigen. He's like, Naruto should not be able to defeat Jigen. Even if Sasuke comes, they have a slight chance of winning. Koji then says that he's like, Jigen's probably low on chakra, so he's like, this is a perfect time to attack. So then, he goes, jumps off the cliff and goes to fight Jigen, which makes sense in the manga point. Now we go back to Jigen back in the hideout, and he's told by Amato it'll take 10 days to fully heal, rather than the 2 days stated in the manga. So in the manga, Amato says that it'll take 2 days to fully heal and bring your chakra back, while in the anime, it says 10 days. Now I see what they're doing with the anime and manga. The anime, they're doing the new arc called the Otsutsuki Revival arc, which makes sense, and it's gonna be 10 days long, roughly in their time period. In the manga, it's about 2 days, which I was kind of right in the manga back in my very first videos, saying the timeline within Boruto and how the manga is basically going in between pretty quick, because as soon as Kawaki arrives in the village, 1 to 2 days have passed to a week, and by the time the Delta fight passes, it's been at least a couple of days more, and literally Kawaki's been living with them for a month. That's why I came up to the theory he's been with them for 2 weeks to about a month in the manga. In the anime, they're expanding a bit more. It's probably gonna be at least a month or 2 months or so, because in those 2 days is when the big fight happens and Ishiki goes to fight the village and all that sort of stuff. But in the anime, they changed it up to 10 days, which makes sense because they gotta give Boro time, and right after Boro, they're gonna give a little bit of gap, the Amato scene and how Amato comes to the village, and I think they might expand on some other stuff as well, because when Jigen was finished healing, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go in 10 days to go take Boruto and Kawaki from the Hidden Leaf. And you see Delta and Code are really happy that, they're finally gonna fight. They're getting closer to their goals. Now, in this scene, instead of Delta there in the manga, this time in the anime is Delta and Code. So it's not just Delta. And now, the funny thing here is Jigen tells Code to guard the 10 tails. The funny thing is that he doesn't say that to Code up until chapter 44-45 after the Boro fight. So I don't know what they're planning on changing. I think they're changing a big scene here where they're gonna completely get rid of some scenes in the manga and just change it over to the anime stuff. So then Jigen leaves and he tells everybody, he's like, alright, get prepared. He's like, go tell Boro to watch the 7th Hokage. Code, you go watch the 10 tails. Delta loses her stuff and she's like, why does everybody get a role except me? And then, Koji tells her that we're gonna finally attack the village 10 days, which makes sense. The manga timeline is really short. The 2 days wouldn't make any sense. In the manga, since they're planning a whole new arc, they gotta extend it more. But it goes both ways. I like the manga, me personally. I feel like the anime changes too much stuff up, like with the Boro thing right now. If Boro doesn't know that Jigen knows that Koji is the traitor, then what's the point of even putting Boro in here? Now, the funny thing here is Amato. Amato's been changed as well. He's really worried about Kawaki here when Jigen mentions that both Boruto and Kawaki are gonna be Otsutsukis. And then he mentioned that, Boruto's karma is resonating with Kawaki's. He's allowing it to progress even faster. Now, Amato's weird stare here is different. Now, in the manga, when Jigen says everybody's wishes will come true, he's like, even yours, Amato looks over to Delta. Now, that's the weird part. And then Delta says, stop staring at me, you creepy old man. Well, in the anime, that part's been changed. He doesn't look at Delta. He doesn't do anything with Delta. He just looks at Jigen in a weird way, and that he's really shocked that Jigen knows that Boruto and Kawaki are becoming Otsutsuki soon, and that he has his own plan. Now, this goes back to chapter 59. We get to see why Amato is so concerned. We don't know the exact reason, but we see that Amato is really concerned about Kawaki's well-being, which makes sense to this episode, where Amato is really surprised and kind of worried about Kawaki because his karma seal is, it's expanding faster than he expected. I did say this a while back, but the anime and the manga, they correlate with each other when they come out with each other. So in chapter 59, we just seen Amato concerned and Sumire questions him why he's so concerned about Kawaki. Now in the anime, it makes sense where Amado is really concerned about Kawaki. If you look at chapter 39, you don't see that Amado is really concerned about Kawaki that much. It doesn't give off that vibe to me. This is different. Now, back at the house. Now, everything is mainly the same, or Kawaki being questioned by Shikamaru for Naruto's disappearance. That stuff's all the same. Shikamaru says that Naruto disappeared, and Boruto says Sasuke can find him, but Shikamaru says Sasuke came back injured, and they don't know who injured him. They possibly think it's Kara. Now, this part here has been changed. In the manga, they don't mention anything about Sasuke except that he's still on his mission, so he's not with Naruto, that he didn't come back to the village or anything. In the anime, they changed that, and he's like Sasuke came back really injured. He's unconscious, so we don't know what happened, how he got hurt, and he's like, we don't know where Naruto is, so can't get Naruto back right now. You see Sarada gets up, she's like, my dad, is he hurt? Is he okay? And stuff like that. So that stuff's been added where Sarada's really worried about Sasuke, which does lead to her 3 Tomo being awakened later on, because if she knows that Kara members hurt her dad and that he's hurt and conscious, it may unlock her 3rd Tomo. And also her 3rd Tomo is going to be shown in the next episode or the episode after, because we've seen in the preview her 2 Tomo Sharingan is there, and they're kind of focusing on her eyes in the preview, which kind of give a hint that 3 Tomo may be around the corner soon. But anyways, Sarada is really concerned about Sasuke, like I said, which has been added, and I like that part. Now, most of the episode's okay. I like how Sarada's voice gets soft when she's talking to Kawaki about Boruto and Naruto. Borusara for the win, by the way. Since her voice is known to get different tone when talking about Boruto, she does mention that she was jealous of Boruto for having Naruto as a dad. I felt the anime did it better with her facial emotion. I do like the part in the anime where her face does that look when Kawaki says, why would Lord 7th go through all this trouble for me? He makes a face saying he's finally understanding and explains to him that everyone is family. The face she makes to Kawaki is like kind of a smug look saying, oh, now he finally understands. She kind of gives like the idea that she knows what he's talking about, because, you know, Naruto helped her in her arc where she went to go find Sasuke and he protected her and all. But I do find it weird that the manga and anime put that part in. She opens up about Boruto really easily to Kawaki, even though they've known each other for a really short time. In the manga, like I said, about 2 weeks to a month. In the anime, maybe a month has passed so far. That's what I think. But it's weird that she opens up to Boruto so easily. So I find it weird that even Sarada doesn't talk to Chocho regarding, you know, Boruto ever being jealous about him, this and that, which Chocho's her closer friend for a longer time. And she kind of talks to Kawaki, you know, I guess because of Naruto, you could say, in a way. But that part's kind of weird for me personally, how I find it both in the manga and anime. I mean, Chocho and Mitsuki both do see that Sarada's tone changes when talking about Boruto, or even talking to Boruto. She kind of feels differently about him. But I guess that is why Kishimoto took over, since I don't think he liked the direction Kodachi was taking the manga in. So what I'm guessing, I'm gonna make a video on this completely, but Kishimoto, I think he stepped in because he didn't like the way the manga was heading. That's why the anime is changing a lot of stuff from the manga, where it left a lot of plot holes, or it just didn't make any sense. Well, they are going to take most of the manga material, because otherwise the Boruto story is not a story without the manga. So they're going to follow most of the manga, but I think it's going to go up to chapter 50s when Kishimoto took in. After that, Kishimoto's own ideas are implemented, and everything Kodachi wrote is going to be pre-episodes, I think about 215. I think that's when Ishiki is going to attack, around 210 to 215. But the anime is going to follow everything Kodachi wrote up until those chapters. I see why they're adding this stuff in it right now. Then the rest of the episode is the same. All the stuff's the same. Kawaki gets his arm and he sees that Naruto's chakra is responding. That means Naruto's starting to heal. Boruto and Sarada are really happy that Naruto's alive, and then Kawaki uses Boruto's karma, and they both open up the dimensional portal, and then go over to where Boro is. And that's where next episode takes place, when they fight each other. Otherwise, this episode is pretty nice. Like I said, I did like some stuff they removed and added. Like, I like the Sarada part. That was pretty nice. The Boro part I found kind of useless. You know, Koji's a really smart person. It shows that he's able to manipulate Boro. But in the manga, it shows that Koji comes up with his own ideas that Naruto and Sasuke can't beat, you know, Jigen, and that Jigen's probably weak, and he's like, I'll go attack him instead. It goes both ways, to be honest. Both are fire. Me personally, I like the manga because mainly story, and it does make sense. But the anime changes some stuff, which I don't like at times, but it's okay. Also, I have the manga chapter 59 review coming. I did a really in-depth review of the manga chapter 59. I am a bit late on it though. I actually was stuck with a lot of other stuff. But yeah, manga chapter 59, I go into real depth about the emotions behind the characters, both Samira and Amado mainly. And I give a theory about Amado, and I think it does make sense, but we'll get to it. And it relates back to this episode in a way. We'll see where that goes. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos to come.